To the Broncos in the AFC divisional round, ready to take the next step? How's that defense? Let's find out.
It's time for the Tiki and Tierney NFL Training Camp Two-A-Days as we visit all 32 NFL camps to preview the upcoming season.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-6, second in the AFC North. The Steelers start the season with some key offensive stars in limbo as Martavis Bryant and Le'Veon Bell serve suspensions, and Antonio Brown wants a new contract. But expectations are still high for the black and gold.
There you go. Even with some of the questions on offense, I think we all expect the Steelers to put a boatload of points up on the board. The question is, will the defense be ready to take a step forward? And we're joined now by one of their young stalwarts from the Ohio State University Buckeyes, Ryan Shazier, former first-round pick. Ryan, it's Tiki and Tierney. How you doing, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, no, man. How's camp going so far? Obviously, it's winding down, and you're getting ready for the regular season, but how are things looking, especially given all of the, I don't want to call it turmoil, but for lack of a better word, I'll say turmoil with some of the suspensions early on in camp?
Things are actually looking really good. We kind of understood the things that we're going to have to go through, and I think they're going pretty good. Everybody just understand that they have more responsibility that they have to take on, and I feel like we have the next man up mentality here. That's what Coach Tomlin tried to instill in us. And I feel like we're having a great camp. We miss those guys, and we're going to miss those guys during the season, but we got a lot of great guys that's going to be able to fill in for them.
Yeah, you bring up those two guys, and Le'Veon Bell, I think, is easier to deal with because D'Angelo Williams is there, and because of injuries last year, he filled in. But what about a young kid, Sammy Coates? I know it's the other side of the ball for you, but how has he looked? Because he's going to have to get, at least we think he's going to have to get a lot more reps with Martavis Bryant out.
Sammy's been doing good. Every young player have ups and downs. I still have mine, and I'm in my third year. But every young player has ups and downs. Like, so some practices, you be like, wow, I haven't seen nobody make a play like that in a while. And then some days you're like, dang, Sammy, come on, we need those. So, every now and again he has his ups and downs. But I feel Sammy's doing really good, and I feel like he's going to be able to help us take care of the responsibilities that Martavis did last year.
So, Ryan, we all know there was a big split in the stats, and granted, this is a year ago, but 21st in total defense, 30th against the pass, 5th against the run. You're in your third year now. You're entering your third season. Certainly have a good feel for the league, good feel for what it entails. Why will this year be different on defense? Because, quite frankly, I know you know this, it has to be a lot better. Why will it be better?
It has to be a lot better because, like I was saying, a lot of us have to take more responsibility on from even a defensive standpoint. And we weren't playing like the Steelers last year. Last year we were definitely trying to understand each other, understand the responsibility that each other is doing. And I feel like as a defense as a whole, we're starting to understand each other a lot better, and we're learning how to play with each other a lot better. Last year we had times when the older guys were trying to tell the younger guys what to do, and I'm not gonna say it was a split defense, but a lot of times we didn't gel as much as we do now. We have great chemistry. We're a real fast defense. We only had to plug in a few extra pieces, not too many. So a lot of the guys are comfortable playing with each other. So a lot of the main pieces on the defense, we've been with each other for going into our third year now, and I feel like we're feeling really comfortable.
It's an interesting take. Talking to Ryan Shazier, Steelers linebacker, Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. Now, some of the guys you're plugging in are a couple of rookies, or at least trying to. I know that your top 3 picks in the draft, all defense, 5 years, 6 top picks, all defense. Artie Burns, Miami corner. You also went safety in the second-round kid from Maryland, Sean Davis. How are they looking at practice? Are they fitting in?
Oh, yeah, they're feeling in pretty good. Actually, right before I got in here, me, Sean, and Mike were all just watching film together so we can all get on the same page. So we're definitely trying to incorporate them into the defense and let them be able to learn and join the process and make it a lot easier for those guys. But they're looking really good. Artie's starting to get back. He's been going through a little nicks and knacks, but he's starting to get back. And Hargrave's been looking great. He's real special in the interior. And the fight between him and Dan is a exciting one to watch.
You were just talking about some of the disconnects with some of the old and young guys, and a lot of those old guys are gone now. But you guys are really young, and I know that it takes some leadership. James Harrison is still there, and he's like the old man of the league. Forget your team. He's been around forever. But how, I mean, the gelling process, and I know it is watching film together. It's doing, little things like either arguing or bickering and saying, this is what we need to do. What's that dynamic like? Because you guys are young. You're figuring it out. I mean, it's hard to play and be successful in this league if you don't feel like you got your compatriot by your side.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough, and it's just a little. It's growing pains, and I feel like it's been getting a lot better. Last year we had to go through that a lot because sometimes I was still young and making the checks and making the calls. So sometimes the older guys will see things a little faster than me, and it'll take me some time to see it because I'm still trying to understand things, and they'll try to make me check something a little faster than I was comfortable to because I was still trying to analyze everything. But now I'm starting to see things a lot faster and do things a lot quicker. And sometimes the older guys they're not doing it as much, but they be like, "Man, Ryan, you don't see that?" And I'm like, "Man, just let me do it." Like, so sometimes I'm not saying talking back, but sometimes they just gotta understand that you know what you're doing just as much as they know what they're doing, and once you show them, I think that really helps out a lot also.
When I think about the Steelers, and this is back when I was playing, and even before I was playing when I was growing up, it was a mean bunch, man. It was you guys just felt like the Steelers were dirty, not in a bad way, but just dirty, defense and mean. And James Harrison still has that in a sense. Is he trying to get you guys to play old school Steelers style? And what have you learned from him?
Oh yeah, James definitely wants us to play somewhat like they used to play, and hard, gritty football, and just have everybody out there not afraid of hitting, and just put intimidation into everybody. And everybody doesn't look as mean as James, but I feel like we bring that aspect to the game, and we're definitely going to show that this year, especially in the pass and run defense. And I think that everybody's starting to understand what we need to be a championship team, and especially going against the number one offense in the NFL. Because Le'Veon is still able to practice with us for right now, and we still have Ben Roethlisberger, who's the best quarterback, and AB, who's the best receiver. Going against those guys every day in practice, I really feel it's helping us become the team that we really need to be.
That's Ryan Shazier with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. You mentioned Big Ben here, and I wonder, and maybe there's probably something more for the media to throw around, take calls on it. I don't know if players actually look at it this way, but do you feel any internal pressure to get the defense back to your side of the ball from it, to be able, and granted, Big Ben is still terrific, there's no doubt, but he's not 24. As you said, he's mid-30s now. Any pressure to make sure that that's up to speed to gel with what remains of his prime still as a quarterback in the NFL?
I'm sorry, can you say that
well, basically, and we've seen Eli and the Giants are going through this, and Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. When you get to the mid-30s for a quarterback, you're at a vulnerable point. Mid-30s for anybody in the NFL. Any extra pressure to make sure that the defense is on point and on par to gel with what remains of Big Ben's prime?
Oh yeah, definitely, because we know what we have, and we understand that it's so little time left, and we're definitely trying to get a Super Bowl, and I know Ben is also. So we're definitely trying. We know every team has prime years, and I feel like we're in our prime years right now, and we're definitely trying to get us back to the promised land and get the defense where it needs to be, because the offense is really doing what it needs to right now.
Yeah, Ryan, who do you see as your big rival in the division? Is it Cincinnati because they've been on top the last couple of years?
I think Cincinnati wants to be our rival, but the Ravens are still our rival.
I understand. A little shot. Speaking of rivals here, you do realize that the Big Ten isn't on lockdown anymore, huh? You got a little competition with our boy Jimmy Harbaugh up in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on over there. I just read something, and they have Michigan ranked number 1 in the Big Ten, and I don't understand how they're able to get that, and we've been smacking them up and down the last few years. I feel like they should at least earn that right instead of have that given to them.
Hey, preseason polls mean nothing. At some point, you got to get on the field and play. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, as we know, Ohio State and Michigan. As long as Harbaugh's there, we know you guys will keep up your end of the deal, but it looks like Michigan's coming around and ready to play some meaningful games, probably starting this season. So there you go. Ryan, have a healthy finish to practice. And